statement in one of the loudest stadiums in sports. All eyes on Sunday Night Football.
Want to connect with what's going on at home? Check out the KUAM Podcast Network. From entertainment, culture, news, food, current events, and interesting people, listen to us anytime and anywhere. Look for our feed and subscribe in your favorite podcast service, including iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. So subscribe and be constantly connected to the KUAM Podcast Network today.
KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adayitano program. Harley-Davidson of Guam. Visit our new showroom now located on Route 8 in Mighty. IP&E Fueling Excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Coming up on Guam's primetime newscast, trial for the man accused of killing his co-worker has been pushed back. Plus, a bill that will validate CLTC decisions relative to leases goes up for a public hearing down at the legislature. Chris Barnett has that story. And with the general election less than 20 days away, the Rotary Club of Guam hosts a congressional forum. Nick Delgado has full details from the Outrigger. Hafa day, everybody. Thanks so much for watching and streaming us. In tonight's top story, the murder trial for a man accused of killing his co-worker has been delayed. Jury selection was scheduled to start on Monday, but a switch in prosecuting attorneys has set the start of the trial back. Jonathan Ross Pangilinan appeared on court Thursday. He's charged with killing his co-worker Librick Manglotnia after a Chamorro Month celebration at their job site earlier this year. Prosecutor Lenny Rapadas is now on the case. The court has given parties 30 days to try and negotiate a settlement, or they'll go to trial on the 3rd of December. Defense, meanwhile, has provided additional information in support of their motion to have Pangilinan released from custody. Specifically, Pangilinan's father provided a statement in which he clarifies that he has no intent of flying his son to the state of California until the case is completed. A return hearing is set for November 15th. Well, a gubernatorial debate is happening this hour in Tumon. It's the Guam Medical Association's debate on health care. The event's happening at the Hyatt Regency Guam's ballroom, and taking on questions are candidates for governor and lieutenant governor. Representing the Democrats, Luli Onguro and Josh Tenorio, and for the GOP, of course, Ray Tenorio and Tony Atta. If there's anything big, we'll report it on KUM.com later on this evening.
Showcasing how they would represent the territory in the nation's capital, the candidates for Guam delegate answered questions before the Rotary Club of Guam today. Nick Delgado has the story.
They are the two in the running to be the island's next representative in Washington, D.C. Democrat Michael St. Nicholas and Republican Doris Flores Brooks responded to questions and concerns from Rotarians at the Rotary Club of Guam meeting at the Outrigger Resort. The former public auditor touching on her years of experience in the public and private sector.
I know what it takes to take legislation done. Legislation, particularly in the Congress, is going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. Look what's happened with the immigration debate. It has taken years and it's still not being resolved. So working with the Congress is going to take some time, but I have the temperament, I have the experience, I have the wherewithal to work in Congress.
Senator St. Nicholas talking about taking his public service to the next level.
And as your senator over these last 6 years, having been this change agent, the distinct difference between our candidacies is we get it done. After 6 years, when I first ran, what motivated me to run was we were borrowing for tax refunds, we were borrowing for operations. And the dialogue at the time was to go ahead and borrow and make everybody happy, but we can't borrow our way out of a spending problem. So over these last 6 years, we've changed the mindset of the community, we've shifted the dialogue, and now...
The congressional candidates were also asked about the H-2B worker crisis.
We need to go back to the table on that. I want to be able to say, hey, you know what, this isn't working out. What's happening outside of the fence is that we're seeing our per square footage costs dramatically increase. We have a serious shortfall of qualified professionals to be able to get out there and make even basic repairs that we have to get done at a reasonable price. And what's happening is that's causing the economy to contract out here, particularly in the real estate market, while inside the fence, they're getting all their projects funded and they're being able to keep their costs down. So we definitely need to go back and make sure that we're in the room and we're able to get a renegotiation of those terms. So that
what I will do is introduce legislation in the National Defense Authorization Act to make an amendment, just like what Congressman Berdowey did. She got an amendment that will allow 4,000 temporary H-2B visa workers for projects inside the fence. But as was mentioned, we don't have it for projects outside the fence. And like also, I want to have the same success as Congressman Khalili Sablan, because he was able to get temporary workers for the next 10 years for the CNMI, for private construction. So yes, this is an area that will require collaboration.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, Wahosi Nick Delgado.
A hearing on a bill meant to ratify controversial Chamorro land trust leases hit some snags as senators sounded off about the way laws were bent and broken to issue leases. Chris Barnett reports.
A hearing on a bill meant to ratify controversial Chamorro land trust leases hit some snags as senators sounded off about the way laws were bent and broken to issue leases. Bill 356-34 seeks to ratify 2,877 leases Attorney General Elizabeth Barrett Anderson categorized as voidable and approve 102 leases the AG said were null and void in a legal opinion. The AG opined that the land trust did have the authority to ratify 2,877 voidable leases, but only the legislature can validate null and void leases. While the land trust met earlier in the day to amend its rules and regulations to include many of the CLTC's practices the AG said were illegal, at the hearing, senators raised questions about how the CLTC was willing to gloss over the way the law was not followed.
Yes, we admit over the last 23 years the law has not been followed to a T. I cannot speak for the decisions made prior to this commission, but this commission's review has found...
I'm sorry, Ms. Farron, don't say that the commission members have not been following it to a T, because 4,706 applicants have been skipped.
Uggan referencing the 4,706 1995 original applicants who have not been granted a CLTC lease after decades of waiting.
We realize it's broken.
If these individuals were not following the law that is attached to this piece of legislation,
Senator Mary Torres sought clarification on the bill, saying it appeared to be trying to correct the wrongs of the past by changing the law so the same problems can happen again in the future.
What has the commission done to null and void the leases? So that maybe we can talk about the other issues of the non-compliance of the law. I'm just curious about what's going on with the Barragata.
Senator Joe St. Augustine wondered why controversial Barragata Heights leases were included in the bill after the CLTC defended the bill by saying if leases were revoked, the land trust would have to reimburse lessees for homes they built on leased land. Barragata Heights lots, for the most part, have no construction that would need to be reimbursed by the land trust.
So I'm just trying to understand, why couldn't the commission go in there and say, for Barragata Heights, you're null and void? That should have been an easy one. It's bad enough already that, it's on the news, doing clearing, without a permit, a whole bunch of stuff. That should have been something. I believe the commission should have just stopped and done what they need to do. Then we can talk about the other leases.
The CLTC conducted a self-investigation into Barragata Heights leases and found no wrongdoing. The AG has said her office digitized Barragata Heights leases in order to look into whether or not a criminal investigation was warranted. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
We have got much more news coming up, but please stay tuned, keep watching, and keep streaming because Primetime continues after this.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Cheers to 80 years. It's our 80th anniversary and the gifts are on us. 80 gift certificates, 8 shopping sprees, 8 staycations, and 1 round trip flyaway for 2 to Manila. So how do you enter? Calvo's Insurance personal home and auto customers are automatically entered. Non-Calvo's customers may enter by receiving a qualified quote. It's our way of saying thank you for trusting us for the past 80 years. For more details, visit calvos.com/giveaway or call 472-6816. Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years.
Here's the Guam I envision, an island where homelessness is obsolete, and the person standing on the side of the road is just waiting to cross the street. Where children will reach for a book instead of drugs. Where the discussion of expanding our prison is replaced by plans to build new schools. Where packed hospitals are replaced by crowded gyms. A Guam where poverty becomes the exception not the norm. Where dropping out of school is unheard of and a college degree is expected. Well, the military buildup becomes the Guam buildup because our people are presented with great opportunities. Education is the key to turning these into reality. That's why early childhood development, middle start, and tuition-free college are at the core of the Tenorio Ada platform. If you share the same vision for a stronger Guam, please vote Tenorio Ada. God bless us all, and God bless Guam.
I'm Ray Tenorio, and I approve this message.
Years ago, I moved to Guam from the Philippines to make a better life for my family. I worked hard every day. We struggled, but I was happy to do it for my kids. This is my house. It isn't fancy, but it's home. I will do anything to protect my family, but I don't feel safe. I don't see police patrolling the villages like I used to. Guam is not the same. Criminals are getting braver because they know we don't have enough police officers. The Lieutenant Governor says public safety is a priority. He's been in the office for 8 years and had the chance to do something to make us safer, but he didn't. I'm tired of empty promises. I want someone who's going to get the job done. That's why I'm voting for Lou and Joss. Sa Nobyembre 6, ako po ay boboto para kay Lou at Joss. At inaanyahan ko po kayong lahat na maniwala na mayroon tayong karapatan na maramdaman na ligtas ang pagboto sa kanila. Ako po si Bobby Gopez. Maraming salamat po.
I'm Lee Young-Guerrero and I approve this ad.
Ram Power Days is here, and right now at Cars Plus in Mighty, you can save up to $11,500 on a new Ram 1500. Cars Plus has a great selection of regular cabs, crew cab eco diesels, even quad cabs. 1.99 APR financing is available for qualified buyers. Plus, buy today and receive a Cars Plus value card, where you can get 21 cents off per gallon at all Shell stations. With great power comes great deals. Only at Ram Power Days at Cars Plus in Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Welcome back, everybody. The governor's vetoed a bill giving him waiver authority over certain requirements for the long-stalled marijuana policy.
In his veto message, Calvo says the legislature can't dictate what executive orders he should make. And he says the bill is not just puzzling, but reeks of legislative arrogance. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The bill by Senator Dennis Rodriguez is mostly aimed at kickstarting the medicinal marijuana law that has languished since it was passed by referendum almost 4 years ago. It gives the governor waiver authority over any requirements for laboratories or dispensaries that impede or obstruct implementation of the KC Conception Compassionate Cannabis Law. But Calvo says he already has the exclusive power to issue executive orders, and the bill is inorganic. He also writes in his message about falsities that blame his administration for being the obstacle in implementation of the law. He says he's been unwavering in his commitment to fulfilling the initiatives of the people. He goes on to say that a laboratory is a critical component of the medicinal cannabis program and that many other critical pieces are needed, including a patient database, tracking system, and inspectors in order to make the program run effectively. He reminds senators that while they continue to find ways to move forward, he has signed into law an interim fix allowing for limited homegrown cultivation by qualified patients and their designated caregivers. In one final aside, the governor says he was, quote, shocked to learn the bill passed with only 7 votes. He reminds senators that that was the same number that voted to pass his bill to borrow money for tax refunds, a bill he says the legislature refused to transmit for months before voting a second time to defeat it. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
The governor also vetoed a bill to improve Guam's procurement law. Calvo said after consulting with the General Services Agency and the Attorney General, they found a series of legal and technical flaws. They object to a provision which Adelube says would allow interested parties to protest even if they never submitted a bid. The governor also opposed a section which gives the public auditor administrative jurisdiction over government contract disputes. Calvo says disputes are already being settled under the Government Claims Act. Hiding under desks during the Great Guam Shakeout. Students at schools across the island, like KUAM Elementary, learn to drop, cover, and hold. Principal Melissa Limo says the students, teachers, and staff participate in the National Earthquake Drill every year. Assistant Principal Marites Garcia says in our region, everyone needs to be prepared for earthquakes.
Earthquake is very common. I mean, it happens all the time. And we need to make sure that our students are prepared should it happen, not just in school, but even at home. So this island-wide, the Great Shakeout is really a great way to make everybody, like Mrs. Limo said, in sync of what to do to be prepared at all times.
Officials say they also hold monthly fire drills and will continue to practice for earthquakes and all emergencies throughout the school year.
Local middle school students got out of the classroom and into some hands-on field work today. The GCA hosted its Construction Warriors interactive career exploratory event over at UOG today, with training allowing students to learn from local pros and practitioners about various construction industry trades. It also provided young pupils with the opportunity to safely handle and operate industry tools and equipment. Here's GCA President James Martinez with the details of today's fun activity.
Whereas we've got some contractors and different tradespeople that are showcasing what we do in the industry. When we talk to construction to high school and middle school kids, you know, the concept of construction doesn't stick in their minds because you can't explain what we do with our hands and not be able to have them, you know, touch and feel the tools of the trades.
Today's event was the first of its kind, with Martinez saying upwards of 6,000 to 10,000 workers being needed in the coming years for both civilian and military projects. That's why they're working to train them early. GCA Trades Academy also has scholarships for high school graduates interested in getting into construction. Scholarship applications are being accepted at the governor's office right now.
Local dealership Atkins Kroll has opened a new showroom for its BMW line of cars. But it's not in a typical place for selling vehicles. It's located inside the Hyatt Regency Guam. AK Marketing and Communications Director Ernie Galito says they opened the temporary boutique showroom while they build a new one at their Tamuning headquarters. They thought to partner with a luxury hotel because they share a similar customer base.
Once you take ownership of a car, you'll have a 5-course meal here at the Hyatt Regency Guam to kind of put the celebration top to owning a new BMW. We wanted to make sure that they get the experience of a BMW owner as well as enjoying the ambiance of the Hyatt Regency Guam.
The new BMW showroom is expected to be completed in March of next year.
And also tonight, in what is sure to be a night of good music and fun, reality show star Jessica Sanchez is on island and will perform at the Filipino community of Guam's 64th anniversary ball at the Dusitani tomorrow. The Philam singer was the runner-up in season 11 of a particular show. She says she jumped at the opportunity to perform locally.
My audience kind of ranges from old to young anyways. So it's going to be a variety of stuff. I'm super excited. It's going to be a lot of some will be like, okay, you just really get to hear me sing. And then other will be like, oh, hey, let's get up and dance, kind of fun stuff. So I'm excited for the audience to feel that, to really experience that with me.
It is her first time to the island and the event is sold out. The Filipino community of Guam plans to donate a portion of the earnings raised during the celebration towards scholarships at UOG.
Stay tuned. Sports is coming up next.
"30 years ago, I moved to Guam from the Philippines to make a better life for my family. I worked hard every day. We struggled, but I was happy to do it for my kids. This is my house. It isn't fancy, but it's home. I will do anything to protect my family, but I don't feel safe. I don't see police patrolling the villages like I used to. Guam is not the same. Criminals are getting braver because they know we don't have enough police officers. The Lieutenant Governor says public safety is a priority. He's been in the office for 8 years and had the chance to do something to make us safer, but he didn't. I'm tired of empty promises. I want someone who's going to get the job done. That's why I'm voting for Lou and Joss. Sa Nobyembre 6, ako po ay boboto para kay Lou at Joss. At inaanyahan ko po kayong lahat na maniwala na mayroon tayong karapatan na maramdaman na ligtas ang pagboto sa kanila. Ako po si Bobby Gopez. Maraming salamat po.
I'm Lou and I approve this ad.
Join the thousands who switched to GTA's handset payment option.
Now I can get the freshest new phone at any time.
My payments are based on my finances.
No more contracts for me. It's time to get the phone I want when I want it.
With HBO, I get to choose.
Call or visit GTA today to learn more about HBO, the most customizable phone plan on island, only at GTA.
It's Micronesia Mall's 30th anniversary, and to celebrate, we are giving away a new Kia Soul LX, a Mazda 3i Sport, the popular Honda Civic LX, and 30 Manila Flyaways during our 30th anniversary Drive-Away Flyaway. Win 3 great cars from Triple J Auto Group, 30 Flyaways from Philippine Airlines, plus thousands of prizes from Burger King and Foot Locker when you play Micronesia Mall's 30th anniversary Drive-Away Flyaway.
30 years ago, I moved to Guam from the Philippines to make a better life for my family. I work hard every day. We struggled, but I was happy to do it for my kids. This is my house. It isn't fancy, but it's home. I will do anything to protect my family, but I don't feel safe. I don't see police patrolling the villages like I used to. Guam is not the same. Criminals are getting braver because they know we don't have enough police officers. The Lieutenant Governor says public safety is a priority. He's been in the office for 8 years and had the chance to do something to make us safer, but he didn't. I'm tired of empty promises. I want someone who's going to get the job done. That's why I'm voting for Lou and Joss. Sa Nobyembre 6, ako po ay boboto para kay Lou at Joss. At inaanyahan ko po kayong lahat na maniwala na mayroon tayong karapatan na maramdaman na ligtas ang pagboto sa kanila. Ako po si Bobby Gopez. Maraming salamat po.
I'm Lee Young and I approve this ad.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports, brought to you by Triple J. We start the show off tonight with our Gatorade Game Changer with Chris Barnett. Check it out.
Jasmine Samonte is a winner. The St. Paul Junior, a cross-country standout, even though she's in her rookie season as a cross-country runner. She took first in 7 of the 10 regular season races she ran in this season, and she runs about 40 miles a week. Even if Jasmine joined cross-country because it was an individual sport, she still appreciates the value of winning meets as a team.
Yes, individual wins, but also team wins. So even if I'm not doing well in my races, I still have my pack who will carry me up, and that's something I really like about cross too. And it's not only my pack, but the whole team. Everyone has each other's back.
Jasmine's fastest time this season, 18 minutes at the Father Duenas course.
I enjoy that every day is a challenge. It's all mentally. Even if my body says no, it's always